Welcome to Foundations of Moving Fascia. Welcome to Foundations of Moving Fascia. I'm thrilled to be here with you today, taking you through a journey of the fascial system on our first online course. This is the first course of hopefully many that will be coming out in our online platform that we are starting here at Evolve Movement Education. For the last 2 years, we have been running a 5-month-long exploration of fascial anatomy. It's a course called Moving Fascia, which takes the participant through a journey of the fascial system throughout the whole body. This model in Moving Fascia needed a little bit of an introduction to the fascial world, fascial concepts, the origins of fascia, and the micro world of fascia to understand how fascia behaves in the moving body. Therefore, we set up Foundations of Moving Fascia, and for the first time today, we are bringing Foundations of Moving Fascia to the online world so that it can be available worldwide. It is a course that works really well as an introduction to our 5-month-long exploration, but also a course that works really well on its own due to the fact that we'll introduce you or reinforce some of the concepts of working in the movement world with a fascial approach. As you know, fascia has had a big impact in the movement world. This course brings together a whole lot of the concepts that have been coming up over the last 10 years. We will be going and traveling through the embryo and understanding how fascia first came about in our body. We will be trying to make a distinction between what is connective tissue and what is fascia, and traveling to the micro world of cellular level components so that we can understand how fascia behaves in the macro world of our gross anatomy. We will also introduce you to the SERI method, which is the method that we at Moving Fascia use and have been using at Evolve Movement Education in all of our trainings. This method is hopefully going to be relevant to you, not only from you having understood all the theory around fascia that we're presenting you with, but also it being applicable and practical so that it's highly relevant to your practice. There is a practical element in this course in which we will be running through a few practical cues, practical exercises, and also we will finish with a class where we put all the concepts of the SERI method together. Hopefully this course will not only be a really fun way of understanding fascial concepts and anatomical concepts, but also will be highly relevant and transferable to your own practice, whether that is on the mat, whether that is in your clinic or in the studio. I really look forward to moving through into the course with you, so let's go. course is for you if you are a movement teacher that wants to introduce facial work to your practice, or perhaps you have already been working with concepts of connective tissue and fascia, but you would like to expand your knowledge. Or it might be that you are a body worker that wants to introduce certain movements to your practice so that you can give them to your clients to see more lasting results from your treatment. Some examples of people that have come to our moving fascia face-to-face courses are Pilates teachers, loads of Pilates teachers, and also yoga teachers that have got experience in movement but would like to deepen their knowledge of anatomy and their knowledge of fascia, and don't really want to stay and do this through just reading books, but they want a more interactive experience in which they can embody the structures that they are visiting. Other people that have been to our courses are also body workers that are already working with fascia but want to start to introduce a little bit of movement to their practice. So why study online? Why study fascia online? It is very exciting to now feel like I can talk to this camera and you can listen to what I'm saying from anywhere in the world, but also that you can access this information whenever you want. Studying the course online means that you do not have to travel to wherever we are running the course, but you are able to stay in the comfort of your own home and access the material at your own pace. You are also able to replay and revisit the material that we've been presenting, which means that you can watch it again and again, but also that is a really good and easy way to cross-reference with other books and other learning that you might be doing outside this course. It is really exciting that we are able to get to you wherever you are in the world, and we are also able to expand our community and able to introduce you our community of moving fascia. We have a well-attended Facebook group, which is a close private group, which you are invited to once you are introduced to one of our moving fascia courses. And this is a great way to communicate with other professionals that have a similar interest in the fascia world, but also a way for us to interact. I go on the Facebook group regularly and offer you support with questions, and also through sharing different articles and sharing different bits of information. Not only me, but also other participants share information, always in regards to fascial anatomy and the latest research. I am Ana Barrechaguren. I'm going to be taking you through this journey of foundations of moving fascia. I am the creator of moving fascia and have been a movement educator for the last 15 years. Originally, I trained as a Pilates teacher and have been involved in Pilates teacher training for the last 10 years. I also trained as a myofascial release practitioner and a visceral manipulation practitioner with the Barrel Institute. And it's the combination of manual therapy and movement that I found has been most valuable in my practice. I got into the movement world at an early age due to my own health and visceral issues, which meant that I was always really interested in the viscera from the very beginning. I also have a high interest in anatomy and in researching the body from an embodied place. Through the attendance to many dissection courses, I get to see the anatomy on the dead tissue, and also to experience that polarity between life and death that helps me understand perhaps the human condition and how it is that we come to be animated and move. So yeah, I do a lot of dissection, and also recently have enrolled in a postgraduate diploma course at the University of Edinburgh in order to research anatomy further, and I'm doing a course there in anatomical sciences. My own personal story influences the way that I teach and what I teach, due to the fact that I have always had to do a lot of personal practice and personal research. I have various health issues that mean that I have had various operations. I am lacking certain organs in my abdomen, and the different adhesions and visceral relationships are always a challenge, meaning that I have had to do quite a lot of research, especially on breath and the area of the diaphragm and the relationships between the visceral fascia in the abdomen and the visceral fascia in the thorax. I suffer from a very rare condition called catamenial pneumothorax. Catamenial pneumothorax is a condition in which the woman, it only happens in women, experiences a lung collapse in the time of the menses. It's really a strange, rare condition that came about as a complication of many other health stories that I'm not going to bore you with today. But I really believe that all these different physical challenges bring us to a place in which we can explore deeper, and is another chance to be awakened and to realize that we are alive and we are able to change in unimaginable ways. So my own personal health has always really influenced my personal practice and my teaching, and I'm sure that that also is applicable to some of you who feel that you have learned from your own personal story.
I wanted to do this course because I've always been a bit, not afraid, but a little bit tentative about the visceral fascia and the connections with the musculoskeletal connective tissue. So that's really been what I wanted to learn most about on this course. So it's been great to feel more confident.
With this course, there's an awful lot of movement, and where we work on ourselves, and we work in partners, working in small teams, and that has really helped facilitate the understanding and the material. They're perfectly complementary. I know one of the reasons why it is making so much sense is that I'm embodying it, so it's very natural, and it's a nicer, more fluid, intuitive, instinctive way of moving and of looking at the body.
Initially, Module 1 was very technical. It was a lot of the anatomy. I thought, oh gosh, maybe this is a bit too difficult, but then it incorporated a lot of linking the practical work with the theory. And so over these 5 months, it's just been like a jigsaw, and it's made sense. And then after each month, I've tried to put it into my teaching.
The second weekend, where we were looking very much at kind of visceral affecting our organs and really understanding a little bit more about the connections of what's inside our abdomen into the rest of our body and movement. That for me was kind of really important, and that's going to continue to become something that's a key point of interest for me. But also the weekend where we looked at the foot was just kind of like light bulb going off in my head, because I could finally kind of piece pieces together. It became a little bit more functional.
I would say probably week 2 or maybe even week 1 on the diaphragm, just the whole emphasis on the breath and how that affects how we move, and I've used that a lot, and I've seen the difference in the people that I teach just from understanding fully how everything works when we breathe deeply, and the connection with the diaphragm and all the viscera underneath it.
Chiropractors, osteopaths, massage therapists, physiotherapists, Pilates, yoga instructors can get so much from it because it's such an integral approach to movement.
Definitely have applied it to my teaching, and to me, I've noticed things change when I move as well, so in my body. And I think if you can feel it in yourself and embody what you've learnt, then it hopefully will make you definitely should make you a better teacher.
So the theory for me, again, I can't go into too much detail. I just love all of that, and I think there was a really good, not only a good amount of theory compared to practical, but also the way it was broken up of a certain amount of theory and then practical. It was quite evenly paced through the day. So it's nice to integrate immediately what you've been learning from the manuals.
It's extremely thorough. There's an awful lot of support and guidance. Anna makes herself available to answer questions. There's enough time for tangents. There's enough latitude to explore different topics and ideas, and it's very relevant. So there's a lot of up-to-date sort of now research and different viewpoints that are presented and are drawn upon. You can see that in the manuals, which are the most beautiful manuals I've ever seen.
It's been fantastic to be able to go back and kind of review the information through the manual. And for me, it's kind of like these little nuggets of kind of wisdom that don't necessarily always come from Anna, but maybe kind of sources that Anna has, you know, authors or poets or artists. And I've loved that element of the course because that just resonates with me. It gives me a deeper understanding of what we're looking at without having to kind of necessarily understand every single muscle, every single joint, every single kind of name of the different fascia. But I very much see this as a kind of jumping board, a starting point for a kind of lifelong exploration of the body and fascia, and I've got so much to still learn. But that's exciting.